అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. నా పేరు వెంకట్ మంత్రి. నేను నార్త్ అమెరికా తెలుగు సొసైటీకి నేషనల్ కోఆర్డినేటర్ ఫర్ సోషల్ మీడియా అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇంపాక్ట్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద కోర్ మెంబర్స్. మనము ట్రైన్ ద ట్రైనర్ వర్క్షాప్లో భాగంగా ఈరోజు ప్రెజెంటేషన్ స్కిల్స్ విత్ ఏఐ గురించి నేర్చుకోవాలనుకుంటే ఈరోజు క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది. మన ఇప్పుడు శ్రీధర్ గారు శ్రీధర్ వీరమల్ల గారు విల్ బి టీచింగ్ ద క్లాస్ టుడే, and it is about presentation skills with AI. And he is a senior director in IT consulting firm. He has 25 plus years experience in corporate IT, and tanu almost 10 years. Just now we were talking like 10 years already. Minneapolis, New York, and different places, Chicago, different places. He already was in USA, and alumnus like for KL University and IIT Kharagpur, president for Lions Club Hyderabad, like Cherlapalli, executive director and vice president for Impact Foundation International, motivated more than 10,000 students from multiple engineering colleges and schools. And his passionate is in career guidance for students and aim to guide at least 1 million students. I would like to welcome Sridhar Viramala garu. Thank you, Andy, for waking up early and then coming to the session. Thank you very much. Please take over the Zoom session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venkat Garu. Thank you once again for the wonderful introduction. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Guruji Gampa Nageshwarao Garu for creating this platform so we all can learn and then grow together. So, na Guru Garu ko sir padagondana teliyestu, and then I'm happy to see all of you. Thank you for joining. So, thank you Aman Garu for switching on the video. Inka migata vallu kuda veelaithe I would like to see interacting, because I want to more of an interactive session rather than me talking about anything. Hope some of you are able to at least switch on the video. But all right, so at least I want everybody to participate through audio or chat if possible. Otherwise, it is like monologue. So I think a lot of sessions already aipoyayi. I think many topics were learnt already, right, in the last a couple of weeks, right? So before we get into today's topic, I think one of the important thing that was discussed was about the content preparation. Probably Janaki Ramaraj Garu has taken that class, right? Okay, Indu Garu, no problem. So I just want all of you to interact. You can unmute and then speak or chat. So what are the various important things that you learnt in the content preparation?
Content preparation, there were 2-3 parts, Andy. One was storytelling element. Then the second and third were the mechanics of building your brand, like through building graphics. Multiple topics were explored. Kani, in the content part, storytelling was a big part. The various sources for stories, personal stories versus adopted stories, atla konchamu. We did a little bit of deep dive into that.
Nice. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sunil Garu. Anyone else want to add? Hello, Sagun Garu, you want to speak?
Yes, Sridhar Garu.
Good to see you again. I think you were in the first batch as well, right? I remember.
Aunandi, yeah, first batch lo unnam.
Okay, nice. Good to see you again.
నేను అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ ఈసారి ఆఫ్లైన్ సెషన్ కి రాకపోవచ్చు. మై వైఫ్ డెలివరీ ఇస్ ఆన్ నెక్స్ట్ మండే అన్నమాట.
Oh, congratulations in advance.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, you want to add anything, Andy, about the content? What are the important points from content session?
Content session నుంచి basically gather from authentic sources అని చెప్పారండి.
Exactly.
ఓన్లీ యూట్యూబ్ నుంచి కాకుండా రీసెర్చ్ పేపర్ నుంచి బుక్స్ చదివితే మోర్ అంటే అందరికి తెలిసిన బుక్స్ కాకుండా కొంచెం యూనిక్ గా లెస్ రెడ్ బుక్స్ చదవాలి అని.
ఓకే.
అండ్ అది ఇందాక చెప్పినట్టు పర్సనల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ తో కనెక్ట్ చేసి స్టోరీస్ బిల్డ్ చేయమని చెప్పారు.
Yes. Yeah.
ఆడియన్స్ ఏజ్, వాళ్ళ యొక్క ప్రొఫెషన్ బట్టి కూడా కంటెంట్ ని మోడిఫై చేసుకోవాలన్నారు.
Mhm.
అండ్ 5 W1H ప్రిన్సిపల్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటే కంటెంట్ ఆటోమేటిక్ గా బిల్డ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని చెప్పారు మనకున్న జనరల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ద్వారా.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much, Andy Sagunji.
Mhm.
Anyone else? ఇంకా ఏమైనా 1 or 2 lines?
ఏమైనా పోయమ్స్ యాడ్ చేయడము, లేకపోతే ట్రిగ్గరింగ్ పాయింట్స్, అంటే ఆడియన్స్ కి పల్స్ ని బట్టి
Yeah.
ఏ చెప్తే కనెక్ట్ అవుతారో అని చూసి ఆ ట్రిగ్గరింగ్ పాయింట్స్ యాడ్ చేయడము అలాంటివి.
Sure, Andy. Thank you, Saman Vigar. That's a good point. Yes. Yeah, it's very important, Andy. So the content, right? So I know మన గంపా సార్ కానీ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ దే డోంట్ యూస్ పీపీటీస్. ప్రెజెంటేషన్స్ లేకుండానే ఎన్ని గంటలైనా ఎన్ని రోజులైనా సెషన్స్ చెప్పగలరు. బట్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద టాపిక్స్ మేబీ వీ నీడ్ టు యూస్ ద ఎయిడ్స్ లైక్ పీపీటీ, especially to show the data or show some graphics or to grab the attention of some participants. కొన్నిసార్లు మనకి presentation or PPT is necessary. So ఈరోజు we will spend some time on how do we create these presentations, traditionally how we have been doing, and with the evolving world, how things have been changing. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with some of the tools, but we'll quickly walk through, focused on presentation మనం ఎట్లా తయారు చేసుకోవాలి. So one of the important aspect మీరు చెప్పినట్టు already is uniqueness, or creating your own stories, creating your own content in your own way, because at the end of the day, only when the trainer or presenter is connected to the actual topic, I mean, that you're presenting, then you will be able to do it effectively. So manaki a lot of sources unnai, like there are a lot of PPTs available on the social media, everywhere we have content available, but manaki ready-made PPT techichina kuda, when you are not connected to it, when you are not, when you don't feel it connected to you, presentation anedi effective ga eppudu raadu. Kabatti we have to make any content that we are presenting authentic, or at least related to us. We need to imbibe and understand. Appudu maatrame we are able to actually ga oka involvement tho present cheyagalamu. So one of the key aspects is how do you make it your own content, or how do you make it authentic is the most important thing. So without losing that authenticity, how we can create content is something also we have to focus on. So let's spend some time looking at what are the key aspects of presentation, right? So Miku, already there are a lot of important sessions that you guys learned. So I'll quickly start the presentation. Hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. So how does it look when you start a presentation like this? Hope some of you are on big screen, or not sure if you're able to see. Anything noticed in this slide? Everything normal, or you're able to see any motion, video?
Yeah, we are seeing the video.
Okay, does it look better than the normal PPT, like just a static image?
Yes, and it's moving, it's going like it's zooming inside mostly.
Zooming inside, right? Like, okay, give some 3D kind of
Right,
image and
it's like start of the movie.
sort of a movie, right? Okay. So we can make those cool presentations. So I'll just give a minute. I'm sure some of you have watched this video, but just spend a minute. Hope the sound is clear.
Yeah, clear on me.
Good evening, sir. What may I get for you?
Yeah. I would like to try this delicately crisp fried wrap with the rare savory.
Savory, sir. Savory filling.
Why?
Excellent choice, sir. May I suggest something excellent to go with it, like a organic tamarind sauce?
Okay.
I'll be back in a jiffy, okay? Oye, Lala. Oye, Bayre. 10 रुपए का समोसा दे, चटनी मार के.
ना क्यों रहा? दे रहा हूँ ना.
ओ भाई, धनिया दे फ्री में. There you go, sir.
Thank you. ये तो टू गुड है
Yes, sir.
सर. आपके शेफ से एक बार मिलवा दीजिए सर.
Okay, so I want some comments about that video, what you understand in this context.
Presentation is very important.
Presentation is very important. Thank you, Deepik Garu. Funny antaru Swati Garu. Yes, it is. Yeah, but in the context of our presentation
You can
today.
present a simple thing in a very complex way.
Okay, so it looks complex to you, is it, Saujanya Garu?
Yeah, it is simple thing, right?
Yeah, it is simple thing. Yes, of course. Using humor to break the ice. Yes. Thank you, Sunil Garu. Inka. It differs according to the situations and areas. Okay, thank you, Indu Garu.
Innocent people falling, trapped to the,
Okay.
like kind of sales tactic. Yeah.
మీరు మరి కొంచెం సీరియస్గా ఆలోచిస్తున్నట్టారు బట్ యా అఫ్ కోర్స్ దట్స్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్ బట్ ఇన్ ద టుడేస్ ప్రజెంటేషన్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే మనం ఎంత ప్రిపేర్ అయినా కూడా ఎంత అద్భుతమైన కంటెంట్ ఉన్నా ఎంత బాగా డెలివరీ చేసినా కూడా ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఆల్సో మ్యాటర్స్ రైట్ సో అఫ్ కోర్స్ హియర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మోర్ ఆఫ్ ఎ ఫన్ ఇంటెండెడ్ వీడియో బట్ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే హౌ వెల్ యూ ప్రజెంట్ ఆల్సో మేక్స్ ఎ డిఫరెన్స్ సో let's spend some time to understand why do we do present, what are all the important aspects of the presentation. So let's see a couple of points, right? Why do we actually present? Why do we need to make a presentation? What is the purpose? I prefer it is more of a interaction rather than me speaking, so I request everybody to be active.
To make a impressive content, anything, whatever we are supposed to communicate, we need to make it impressive.
Thank you, Chandra Garu. But why do we have to present? Yes, it has to be interesting, it has to be effective, all that understood. But so presentation enduku chestam manam?
To engage the audience.
To engage the audience, okay. Develop
మనం
skills, offer opportunity.
మనం చెప్పేది వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాకపోతే కనీసం ఆ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ చూసన్నా అర్థం చేసుకుంటారు ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ నాట్ కనెక్టింగ్ టు.
Sure, Andy, thank you. Anything else?
Like showing a picture or showing a presentation is kind of a picture, so that makes easy to grasp, and picture is always than just to speak kind of.
Yeah, a picture can speak 1,000 words.
Thousands
right?
of the words, yeah.
Thousands of words. Wonderful. Thank you. So opportunities, yeah, develop skills, goes on appearance also. Wonderful. Yeah. So, but why typically we do presentations, right? There are various styles of presentations. Manamu corporates lo presentations chestu untamu, students ki trainings istu untamu. There are a lot of things that we do, but what is the intention behind them? Some of them is to just inform, right? So maybe a product launch undochu. You are just informing the, everybody waits for September for Apple to announce their new products, right? So they're going to launch a new product. They're going to provide information. So, but people are crazy waiting for like months and months. Right, so it's just an information of what is the new product about, what is the offer, but the presentation itself is so wonderful that people just get involved in that, and then becomes like as if a lot of people feel that they went to moon, right, by attending some of those conferences or even at home. So but the kind of presentation they make is actually makes a lot of difference. So a lot of times we do presentation just to inform people of maybe some information, right, just giving some information, not more than that. But a lot of times we have to persuade people, right? So you have to make them believe in you, what you are saying, right? It is not so easy to persuade people, especially adults. We all understand. I think you guys have probably gone through adult learning principles or unlearning concepts, right? So yeah, I already know a lot of things, and then why should I listen to you? Why should I believe you? What is this? Look, it's not going to be easy. So the presentation, how you use, makes a lot of difference in persuading people and also motivate at times. Yes, I know we understand that motivation doesn't last long. It may not be the best thing to do, but a lot of times, at least you need to motivate people. So you have to give enough content for them or background and understand all of that stuff. And at a lot of times, entertainment is also very important. And then it goes probably with everything, right? While you're informing or motivating or persuading, you still use entertainment. So these are the areas why we even do the presentation, right? So there may be a lot of reasons why we speak to people, but when you are making a presentation, there must be an intention to it, right? At the end of the day, any business, I think I heard Sadhguru saying many times, right? Any business in this world is primarily to uplifting humanity. whether you take entertainment industry or IT or whatever the technology, everything is to make our lives easier. It doesn't matter what industry it is. Maybe it is just entertaining people. Maybe it is giving hospitality is kind of treating us well, or whatever it is. So travel, all of that is to make human lives. At the end of the day, whatever the effort that we spend, in some way or other, it is uplifting the humanity. It is helping the people in different shapes or forms. So the presentations that we make actually makes a lot of impact to others. So we have to make it more effective. We have to make sure it gives clarity to everybody. So today, I think as per the topic, right, presentations with AI. So traditionally, we know how we generate the presentations. We used to take a lot of time to create a presentation. It was not easy. Burranta use says you have to put together a lot of thoughts, make some notes, maybe, right? Create your flow, all the content, what should do, what we should not do, and adding images for those. There are a lot of other things that we have to do. But things have changed, and now there are a lot of tools that are available, right? But of course, there have been a lot of sites. PPTs were already available on the internet. Any topic you take, you can simply go Google, find it out, download it, and start presenting. So that was anyways always available. But as we discussed, we have to have our content authentic. That is most important. So it is important to create our own content. It is important to own the content before we start delivering. So let's look at some of the tools that we have. And before we get into the tools, so as you're all familiar, right? So I'm sure you have seen this already, opening, body, and closing, right? These are the three important components of any presentation, right? And how do we design them is something that we'll look at, today, right? So this is some quote I really liked related to this topic. If you don't know what you want to achieve in your presentation, your audience will never. So that is something that we have to have clarity. And of course, some of these will be discussed in detail in the next coming up offline session. How we can make it more effective, and then how do you make sure your presentations are effective. So like I'll get into the ChatGPT part in a minute, but I'm sure everybody is familiar with all the AI tools, right? Anybody who never used any of the AI tools here? I'm sure ChatGPT and there are many other tools. Anyone here who is not familiar at all? I hope not.
I've
Okay.
used only ChatGPT, nothing else.
Only ChatGPT. All right. Okay. So I'm expecting others pretty much know many of other tools as well. All right. Yeah, we'll spend a few minutes focusing on the presentation because the topic is about the presentation and the training content that we want to create using tools. So we'll get into a few things. So first, let's start with ChatGPT, which is the most common thing that a lot of us know, or that's where it's all started, the game, right? So in that past, మనం ఎప్పుడైనా presentation create చేయాలంటే we used to go to we have to go to create the content, then you have to consolidate a lot of images, all that stuff, right? So, but a lot of things have changed. How we can make it all simple and effective is something that we'll learn today. I'm sure some of you are experts already, but you can also help me if you have better alternatives than what I know, right? So hope you're able to see the ChatGPT screen here. Okay. So first, let's look at the topics. I mean, because we know we want to probably talk about a topic. Say, for example, interpersonal skills is something that is very, very important, right? So I'll go ahead and say interpersonal skills presentation for corporate employees. Need modules, whatever, right? All right, so does it help us? It has given a lot of modules of how interpersonal skills should be taught to employees. Yeah, please help me to make it better to create a presentation. Hope I'm audible. Right. So if we want to conduct a session on interpersonal skills, I got all the modules, like what are all the topics I should be talking about, right? So how can I make it effective and then create a presentation out of it? Any steps that can help? Okay.
You can give a better prompt.
Give a better prompt. Yes, thank you, sir. So what is missing in my prompt? So I asked it for a presentation for corporate employees, and I said I need modules. Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of experts, so you can help others. Please, be interactive and then give some topic. So, we can learn.
Give some
together.
topic to.
Okay. I mean, this is the topic name I mentioned, right? Interpersonal skills is the topic that we want to create a presentation on. So what is missing in this? Because it gave all the content, but are we ready to create a presentation out of it? Okay, keywords. Swati Garu is saying keywords. Okay. What are the keywords that are missing?
Presentation.
Presentation. Yeah, I mentioned presentation here. Interpersonal skills presentation.
Okay. Yeah, these are required for every human being, not only for the corporate employees.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm just trying to go for a specific topic. Yeah, we can do it for anybody, but okay, there are tips. All right. So we want to create a PPT out of it. I know in the interest of time, I'll move forward, but yeah, please feel free to stop me at any time and then add your points, right? So at this point of time, it just gave us the modules, right? We understand the structure. Right? How can we structure the flow? What are all the topics that we can create, right? But say, for example, we really need the PPT out of it, right? So create, like say, 8 slides. Maybe that is good enough. Is this better than the previous one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now at least it has already created the slides for us. So it kind of gave us, right, what is the title should be: introduction, effective, active listening, anti-conflict resolution, teamwork. Like these are some of the important aspects of the interpersonal skills, conclusion and action plan. Everything is given. So it has put into structure, right? Now, yeah, sometimes this may not help us because we need a lot of content. We need to understand what we articulate. So it just says articulation, clarity, and tone. So we want to expand on it, right? So you can ask it expand on effective communication or number 3 or. So you'll get a lot of topics. I mean, you can give a lot of these additional prompts that give us more details about each of them. Either you can use it for notes or you can put it in PPT, all that stuff. So you'll get a lot of content like this, but at the end of the day, we still want to create a presentation out of it, which may not be easy. So one of the option is you can just copy paste each of these slides into PPT and then you can, do it, or you can copy this content into a Word document, and then you can use an option to export it as a PowerPoint that also gives a PowerPoint presentation, right? And another option could be, you can create a VBA script. I'm sure many of you are familiar, but. So ChatGPT gives us a script, that you can copy and paste it in a PowerPoint, so the PPT will be readily created. So I think let me share the screen. All right, so now we have the VBA scripts. I'm copying the code. I go to PPT. Yeah, so go to developer, Visual Basic macros. You can copy here and you can get the details later, but okay. So yeah, that's it. I mean, the PPT is pretty much ready with the content. I mean, of course, it did not copy everything, but with the current, I think it only took the initial part of the this chart. But typically, once you have everything ready, it can ask it to take the latest chart, and then pretty much you have all these entire stuff ready, right? So now, it looks very plain. and a lot of things are missing here, so we can make it more effective. So we'll get to that part in a minute. But this helps, this prompts help us to create all these interpersonal skills, okay, right? So these prompts help us to create a content. So, but as Venkat Garu said, a lot of things were missing in that prompt, right? So we'll spend a couple of minutes to understand what are the important parts of the prompt, because we want exactly what we need, right? So manaki endante, there are a lot of tools available. Like, let me go through this slide. So how do we make the prompt more effective? That this actually matters a lot. So one of the important aspect is, first is you need to understand who is the role, what is the role of the person asking. Like, for example, in this context, we are the trainers, right? So as a trainer, manaki, we need this content. And again, the second thing is, what is the goal? Why are we, why do you need this content, right? And then what is the context? Maybe sometimes it is important to give the context so that you get the right content. And then who are the audience? Like indaka manam anukunnattu, like I'm talking about the corporate employees at this point of time. Of course, any topic can be conducted about any people, but when you give a specific audience, then exactly, the complete content will change accordingly. And then what is the tone of the presentations? Manaki, it has to be funny, or it has to be manamu professional ga undala, creative ga undala. You can decide the kind of a tone. The content also will be accordingly. And then what is the format output? In this context, we want to create a presentation, right? So you can give a data, you can get a data in a tabular format or various, I want it in bullets format. There are many other tools, right? So, and then more importantly, you can also give an example, like especially when you want to, for example, quote ichesi, I want 10 quotes like this, right? So in some context, when you give an example, it also helps. So when you give a prompt, right? So use all these basic 7 things, which will give you a better presentation, better output from the ChatGPT or any of the AI tools. So of course, you may be hearing a lot of similar things, many other, but these are the common things that we need. So without giving these role, goal, content, audience, and tone, and what format you need, you may not get a better output, right? So let me go back and then update this again. Is my ChatGPT screen visible, Andy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So now let's modify this. Like, I'll not spend a lot of time, but it is important to just learn this one thing, and then we can go into other details, right? Say, for example, as a corporate trainer, I would like to train the corporate employees on interpersonal skills for better coordination and teamwork. And I need a presentation in 8 slides. Yeah. So again, you see the similar structure, but the content will vary, and also you can add a tone that we missed. So you want a professional tone, or you want a funny tone, or a creative tone, avanni kuda mana add cheskunte automatic ga. So the more prompts we add, the more the content will be authentic, because we want to make it realistic, we want to make it authentic. So unique way ga manamu presentation create chesukovalante, we have to start making it, the more prompts you add, the more better it is, right? So and now you have a basic presentation at all only, right? So you can still create a VBA code out of it and then copy it to, PPT, and then it will create a presentation, right? Then obviously the presentation looked very bland, right? There is like nothing in it. So it looked very simple. So we have to add some PP images or videos or something like that to make it more effective. So ivanni kuda manam AI lo use chesukovachu. So what we have seen is a very basic tool that is available for us to create PPTs. But nowadays there are so many other tools that are available. మనం చాలా ఈజీగా ఎంటైర్ PPTs కూడా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, right? So there are a lot of tools, right? So we used to get images from different sources and then attach to it. So let me copy this to a different place, and then we can show one moment. Yeah, I had issues with my regular laptop, so I'm using a different laptop. All right. Right. So some of you are already probably familiar with this tool in for the PowerPoint. In the latest version, it is already available. So if you go to design, you'll see something called designer. Yeah, this laptop doesn't have that features. I'm opening in browser. So if you look at any slide, it gives you a lot of options, right? And for example, in this case, let me create a new slide. So the title we wanted to give. Interpersonal skills, right? Yeah. So it automatically creates based on the text. It automatically gives you an option to choose any of the these options. Like it formats well, like depending on the text. Any images pettam, any box pettam, automatically market designer gives you a lot of options. So you don't have to worry about what kind of format I have to create, what kind of image. And more importantly, scroll down, it automatically gives an option to search in the Bing also. When interpersonal skills and search it will get all the images from Google. You don't have to go separately. And so in the contextual you can use this feature called designer. So if you go to any slide, pretty much it will give you an option like depending on the context for each slide, it will give you automatically some relevant images, how do you structure it, format it, so it looks better. So compared to this, see how does it look, right? So automatically your slide will become much more relevant and useful for people. So this is one feature I really like, because you have a lot of options in front of you. You have different combinations. You can add additional pictures from Bing and all that stuff. So this designer is much more useful. So once you have the basic format from ChatGPT, you can copy open the presentation, use the designer module, and then it automatically creates a beautiful presentations for you. So in fact, the first slide I was showing you, it automatically came from this. I did not even create. So the presentation skills that I was talking about, the 3D video, I don't know, some of you may have missed it, but it all, at the end of the day, it all came down from this. So let me go back and then show. Yeah, so this one, it just suggested by the same designer. I have not even spent a minute on this. So you can contextual ga manaku itla manchi topics ani kuda you can get all the images. You can reorganize the text and everything. So basically, yeah, we have seen using this you can create authentic content. So what all we can do with AI, right? So we need a lot of content, like as part of the presentations, right? So first thing is we have seen is content modules. So different modules మనం ఎట్లా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి. So మన any topic when you go to ChatGPT, give a prompt, it will automatically structure the presentation. So and we have seen it delivers a PPT also. మనము prompt తీసుకుని or the structure తీసుకుని we can directly go to PPT or VBA code తో చేసుకోవచ్చు. And there are other tools which will directly give PPT, will go there. And
Sir,
there are many.
will you be sharing the PPT as notes or should we make notes, sir?
No, I can give the PPT. I'll send it right after.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Right. So now images, అంటే మనకు own images కావాలి. I know like I've seen a designer lo it shows some, it automatically gives a lot of options, but still, right, there are tools available like many tools, many of you are already familiar, right? So మనము how can you create a relevant image for the text, right? And how can you create an audio from the text? How can you create a video from a text? Designer is something that we have seen now. And మనకు another important thing is ఒక యూట్యూబ్ లో ఒక వీడియో చూసాము, we like the video very much, and you can create a PPT out of it. How do you do that, right? A transcript తీసుకోవడం, transcript నుంచి PPT. So there are like unlimited possibilities ఉన్నాయి. So the content is available everywhere, but how do you use it? Something that is very, very important. So these AI tools really help us to do all that stuff. So I'll not spend a lot of time on going through these images, audio, videos. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar, but I'll quickly show a few basic examples, and then I can send some notes if anybody interested. What are the tools that I typically use, or what are the common tools that are available in the current context? So idokate kadanti ante content is okay one thing part of it, but at the end of the day manamu oka presentation chesinappudu how do you structure the overall PPT is also very important. So these AI tools also help us with creating the schedule. For example, oka 2 hours presentation lo I want to split everything into different modules. Like for example, how much time should I spend on ice breaking? How much time should I spend on a story? How much time should I spend on a closure? So ivanni kuda you can give the prompt, and I'll go to there and give you. So you can give a prompt and it will exactly structure. Now 2 hours presentation lo I need 10 minutes break, and you structure everything else ante a topic wise enta time padutundi anedi mottham kuda manaki these tools can help us completely doing the structuring of it. And more importantly, icebreakers, because any session it is important to create an icebreaker, right? So again, the icebreaker should be relevant. So మనం already prompt లో audience ఎవరు, context ఇవన్నీ ఇస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి you can also ask ChatGPT to give a icebreaker. So it will suggest what kind of icebreaker you use, or what kind of energizers we should use, and relevant quotes. So we don't have to go struggle in finding what are the quotes related to this topic, right? And then what are the stories? Like I know content lo we discussed mostly మనకు own stories I think is always better, right? So it's not always possible that we have stories relevant to each and every situation, but you can make up stories using this ChatGPT towards the based on the context of the presentation, right? And then takeaways, right? So we don't have to struggle creating what are the takeaways for the candidates or the trainees. So you can use any of these using the ChatGPT or any other tools associated to ChatGPT to create those. For example, in this context, let's see, can you structure this presentation for 2 hours, including 10 minutes break, starting with icebreaker. Okay, you can give as many prompts as you want. So it exactly creates a structure for us, like initially icebreaker 5 minutes, session overview 5 minutes, icebreaker 15 minutes, session overview 5 minutes, understanding interpersonals 20 minutes. So it completely gives, you can actually structure your presentation according to it, right? And then you can ask, can you suggest an icebreaker? So it gave an option called human bingo, all the instructions, you don't have to worry about everything, what we can do, including the purpose, because at the end of the day, any activity we do in training, we always have to close with, what is the purpose of that particular activity. So all that information is given. You can, add a story, what need 3 famous quotes. Or you can choose any specific slide. On this slide, I want a quote. So it gave you 3 couple of options, and then it kind of explained what is also, right? This way we communicate with others, with ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. So this is a famous Tony Robbins quote. So in the context of these, you will get the quotes, you will get all that, and you can say, what are the 5 takeaways? So మన overall the presentation you can use these tools to create exactly what you need, right? So we don't have to worry about all this. So interpersonal skills, communication, clarity, empathy, understanding, conflict resolution strategies, team collaboration skills, and continuous improvement application. So these are the 5 takeaways. So what you can extract, how you can extract, it can all depends on the prompts that you give. But at the end of the day, tools use cheskuni mee presentation ni more effective ga. We don't have to spend a lot of time on creating these kind of content or finding out or fine tuning the points. So you can use this PPT tool, these tools to create the content in your own way, right? So ChatGPT is one thing, but there are a lot of other tools. For example, there is, okay, let me show an example. So there are a lot of extensions available on Chrome, right? So one such extension is called harpa.ai, which has a lot of features. So this beauty of this is you can open this harpa HARPA on any website. For example, I go to YouTube and say emotional intelligence. I want to create a PPT on emotional intelligence. Right, so you can choose a video. So for example, I like this video. I click on the video and then click on this, open this extension, Harpa, which is already installed here. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, some network issues, but all right. Okay, yeah. So, sorry, a bit too many clicks. Okay. So it creates instead of like a chat GPT on my site lo aina kuda dini click cheste, it opens the contextual menu. So in this case, it will have an option of, for example, summarize the video.
Inaccuracies around whom we.
Okay, so you can simply say summarize the video. So again, it gives you a lot of options like, YouTube video summary, nested takeaways, captions. You want text. So for example, I want this nested. So automatically it parses the video. It needs either captions or transcripts. So alanti unnayani kuda manaku simple ga taka within a few seconds lo it will kind of give you the entire transcript. So malli manam ee transcript ni తీసుకెళ్ళి, so it kind of gives all this. You can copy paste, go to ChatGPT or any other tool. It automatically creates a structure out of it. So for example, yeah, so let me copy this and then go back to ChatGPT. Yeah, you can of course use all the prompts, rules that we discussed. In the interest of time, I'm moving. But again, quickly, you already have the content and then it creates immediately, right? So within few seconds from the video that you liked, it creates a presentation basically, right? So again, you can take it back to designer and all that stuff. But from any of these sources, blog lo gaani, the beauty of this, మీరు ఏ సైట్కి వెళ్ళినా కూడా అక్కడ రిలవెంట్గా ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంది. It also gives you a lot of prompts. మనకి image create చేయాలంటే కూడా it gives a prompt. So for everything, wherever you go, it creates a prompt. Or you open a website, news website, and then there it will ask you to give a summarize everything that it does depending on the context. So we have a lot of these extensions that are available, which also makes life easier. You can contextual ga మనం కాపీ చేసుకోవడానికి ఉపయోగపడుతుందండి, right? So like I'll show one example of like there are many tools to directly create PI. ఇవన్నీ ప్రాసెస్ లేకుండా కూడా we can directly go to there are a lot of AI presentation makers. మన టాపిక్ ఇవ్వగానే immediate గా, for example, VPick is one tool, such tool where you can, for example, the same topic of emotional intelligence, again you can give the prompt as detailed as possible. So here it is giving an option of tones, various tones. You can choose how many slides you want, all that stuff. You can choose the styles and click on generate presentation. So within a few seconds, we'll have a presentation handy. So itlanti manaku there are a lot of such sites available. Tome is one. So enhancing emotional intelligence. So you can edit all of this stuff, but you see how many number of slides we want. That's all getting ready, right? So introduction. So it already added a lot of images, all that stuff. So there are many other sites available. Tome is one. Slides Go. Creative AI, I mean, you'll find a lot of the presentations.ai. Itlantivi chala slides unnai. So where you just simply have to give a prompt about what exactly you want. It creates an outline, how many slides you want, when the pictures koni. As you add more prompts, like the context మనం ఇచ్చినప్పుడు, audience ఇచ్చినప్పుడు, ఇవన్నీ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు automatically it exactly with the content. So we don't have to spend a lot of time in editing it. So basic structure అంతా కూడా మనకు ఈజీగా రెడీ అయిపోతూ ఉందండి. So and other thing is if we want to add audio or video, right? So there are many other tools available. So for example, play.ht, మనం text ఇవ్వగానే automatically it creates a audio out of it, right? So in video, and there are a lot of sites. So here a play.ht, there are many other tools. Mana voice ni clone cheyochu. You give a sample voice to it. So it automatically creates, mana tone lone, it creates one.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my
Is the sound audible, sir?
channel. Today I've got a game-changing revelation for all you hardworking professionals out there. I'm about to show you how you can literally create an extra month in your year. Yes, you heard that right.
So if you click regenerate, it keeps regenerating the voice in different tones. So we can reproduce cheskochu. So you can use this, just for fun also. In between the presentation, you can add some of this specific dialogue. If you want to add in the audio, you can use these tools to generate the audio out of the text and then use those in the presentation. It's taking some time, but just give a couple of lines, it automatically creates the text for you. Audio for you.
All right, let's get down to business. How many times have you wished for more?
Yeah, so in the interest of time, I'll move forward. But again, all these like text to image, text to audio, text to video, all these are available. But so how do you get the text is important. So you can get from any blog. A blog lo kelli kuda manamu, you can use the tools like Harpa, or you can copy the content into ChatGPT and it'll create a summary out of it. So danni mana simple ga oka presentation format loki marchukochandi, right? So these are some of the basic features. Of course, it takes a lot of time if you have to get into details of all of these. But overall presentation structure, because it is important to put all these elements together, the icebreakers and energizers, stories, quotes, ivanni kuda we can use this AI to get the relevant topics very, very easily using a few clicks only, right? So I think another thing is, data is something that we always probably use the corporate world employees, especially how do we use the data? So ChatGPT lo kuda mana data tools chala unnai. How do you want to structure it and all that stuff? You can expedite. So, but most importantly, I'll spend a few minutes on the presentation itself, right? So why do we do all this stuff, right? We're all trying to be more effective, more interactive and all, right? So we want to make sure in the beginning, when you're introducing, you have to arouse the interest in the participants. Obviously, we have to make it more, attentive for them. And then we have to build the credibility of who we are, what are we trying to do, and then preview the presentation. So they need to understand what we are trying to do. So the opening of the presentation, we need to make sure we do this, arouse the interest and the credibility, and then what they are going to learn is something that important. And the overall body lo kochesi, what are the main points, right? So a lot of times it's very difficult to condense the presentation. So limit to the main points, that because it's overboarding most of the people do not even spend a lot of time listening to in between what we are talking about, right? And connecting the ideas and engaging the audience. So ivi moodu chestu povam chala important throughout the presentation body. And closing lo kochepadiki, summarizing the points in the takeaways అనుకోవచ్చు, what the, the few basic points that they have learnt, and then ending on a strong note. So these are the OBC that we have looked at. ఈ స్ట్రక్చర్ చేసుకోవడం అనేది కూడా very important అండి, right? So you have already learnt, I'll not go into the details, but obviously గా మనకి presentation వచ్చినప్పుడు at the end of the day voice is very important, and voice, language usage, and the movement, and body language, ఇవన్నీ కలిపితే the overall presentation will be much better. So I'll not get into detail because మనకి offline లో this will be covered in detail, but what is important is your voice modulation, మన వాల్యూమ్ కానీ మన ఇంటోనేషన్ కానీ అది పేసింగ్ అవన్నీ కూడా very very important. And then usage of the language related to audience, ఎవరితో మాట్లాడుతున్నాము, ఆర్ దే యంగర్, ఆర్ దే సీనియర్, ఆర్ దే ప్రొఫెషనల్స్, ఆర్ దే నాన్ ప్రొఫెషనల్స్. సో వాళ్ళని తగ్గట్టు దాకా మన వాయిస్ చేంజ్ చేసుకోవడము, మేక్ ఇట్ సింపుల్ అండ్ short and simple. I use the example of either you want to speak like Sudha Murthy, or you want to talk like Shashi Tharoor, right? So you want to sound great like Shashi Tharoor, or you want to use simple language like Sudha Murthy where even the children can understand. So depending on, we don't have to be using very tricky complex words, but use simple words that most people can understand, right? And then speak slowly and clearly so that audience can understand and follow us, right? That's some of the basic things. And movement related, I think it is better, this will be covered in the offline. So how you move across the room to make sure you're connecting with everybody. And body language, I'm sure you learned already, so I'll not go into that. And yeah, obviously presentation requires a practice a lot. So it doesn't matter, even though we do regular presentation, weekly presentations, whatever it is, at the end of the day, when you practice it, the outcome is always better. And the first 2 minutes, as we know, it is important to grab the attention in the beginning. So spend some time, make sure you memorize or repeat how many number of times it is, because so that it comes with the same effect. And then obviously being positive is important, using affirmations, visualizations, those are tricks that you can use. But a lot of times people face challenges with the venue or audience. మనకి చాలా ఎంత టెక్నాలజీ ఉన్నా కూడా కొత్త కాన్ఫరెన్స్లోకి వెళ్ళేసరికి we always have challenges in connecting to the video or PPT రాదు. So these are all some basic things where you get diverted, and a lot of times people attention also we lose. So it is important to go few minutes early to make sure you are familiar with your venue, and being smiling, being yourself. Obviously it's important to take a deep breath and then not panic. So a lot of times, we go with all the preparation. For example, today I wanted to use a different laptop, but last minute I couldn't use it. I had to switch it over to a different laptop. So my setup anta kuda I missed it, but I had to continue, right? So what can go wrong? A lot of times on a presentation, we prepare for 1 hour and go there, it can become 20 minutes, or you go for 15 minutes, it can become 30 minutes. So we should be prepared to make sure we condense or expand as needed. So the content on the back side should be there. So if you get less time, stick to important points. If you have more time, start adding more stories. So start expanding it, right? So we should be ready to do all that kind of stuff in the presentation, right? And obviously topic related, sometimes we want to go and share one topic. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఆ టాపిక్ ఆల్రెడీ ఎవరో మాట్లాడేసి ఉంటారు, లేకపోతే లేదండి మీరు దీస్ పీపుల్ రియల్లీ నీడ్ ఆర్ యూ హ్యావ్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఆన్ సమ్ అదర్ టాపిక్ వెరీ గుడ్, సో మీరు ఈ టాపిక్ మాట్లాడండి అని చెప్తారు. సో వీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ నీడ్ టు బి ప్రిపేర్డ్ టు యాడ్ ఆల్ దట్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఇన్ టు ఎనీ ప్రెజెంటేషన్, రైట్? అండ్ దెన్ టెక్నికల్ ఛాలెంజ్ ఐ వాస్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్, దట్ ఈస్ బౌండ్ టు హ్యాపెన్. మన టెక్నాలజీ ఎంత డెవలప్ అయినా కూడా ఐ సీన్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. చాలా పెద్ద presentations లో, ఎంత పెద్ద థియేటర్, there will be some glitches here and there, so we should be ready to handle all that stuff. And then audience, and of course a lot of times audience may not be cooperative, so that is where we have to use those energizers or icebreakers or the stories to grab them their attention turned back to you. And then obviously that's nervousness is something that we always have to avoid, so that can happen, right? So finally, it's important to have our own etiquette as a trainer, as an individual, because at the end of the day, trainer is a leader, and we should have our own value system. Is that more important, right? So the discipline that we have, and then a lot of times, especially in the training, a lot of people tend to preach, right? So we always try to preach, so we should avoid preaching people rather than just focus on delivering the content that is more important, and creating the dress code, highest standards, and our values. These are all the things that we always should stick. And of course, again, we did not spend a lot of times, but there are so many tools available. And like, for example, now we have Gemini, Bing images, like, I just gave a poster, it automatically created the poster launch, it created a summary out of it, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Or a PDF file is there, it will summarize in one page. So there are a lot of other AI tools which can make our life much more easier, like InVideo or Videolib. There are some beautiful these sites which can create మన చిన్న text ఇస్తే it automatically generates a video like 7 minutes 10 seconds 7 seconds 10 seconds, which is good enough to have a powerful impact in your presentation. So there are a lot of tools. In the interest of time, I could not go to many of them, but AI can really help us to create the presentations much more effective, and then that can make our lives easier. We don't have to spend a lot of time and context, right? So I'll be happy to take any questions, but again, before that, I would like to thank Venkat sir, Nalini madam, Gampa sir, and all of you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Andy, Sridhar garu. Wonderful presentation, Irazu. Any doubts, like any questions?
Thank you, Sridhar garu, for the wonderful session.
Thank you.
సో నాకు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అండి. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ AI టూల్స్లో మనం కొంత డేటా ఇస్తాం కదా ఇన్పుట్గా, దాన్ని ఎదర్ టెక్స్ట్ని వీడియో లాగా లేదా ఆడియోని వీడియో లాగా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. సో అంటే ఇప్పుడు మన పర్సనల్ డేటాని అది లీక్ చేయటం అలాంటి ఏమైనా ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయంటారు? అంటే మనం ఓన్గా తయారు చేసుకున్న డేటాని అది బయట అందరికీ యాక్సెసిబుల్గా చేయటం, అలాంటి కాపీరైట్ ఇష్యూస్ కానీ, అంటే మనకు ఫైనల్గా డెలివర్ చేసిన తర్వాత కూడా మన ప్రజెంటేషన్ డెలివర్ చేసింది ఒకటి, సో ఆ ప్రజెంటేషన్ అది కాపీరైట్ ఇష్యూస్ ఏమైనా వస్తాయా అని, అంటే మనకి అది మనం ఓన్ చేయొచ్చా అని. అది
అండర్స్టూడ్. సో మోస్ట్లీ ఏంటంటే మన ప్రాంప్ట్ని బట్టి ద కంటెంట్ విల్ బి చేంజ్ అండి. సో మీరు జస్ట్ మేక్ వన్ వర్డ్ యాడ్ చేయండి, ప్రాంప్ట్లో కంటెంట్ చాలా వరకు మారిపోతూ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో అనదర్ వే టు డీల్ విత్ దిస్ ఈస్ మనకి చాలా రీరైటింగ్ టూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇందాక నేను చూపించిన హార్పా ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ కానీ, ఈవెన్ గ్రామర్లీ, క్విల్ బాట్, దెర్ ఆర్ మెనీ టూల్స్. మీరు ఏ టెక్స్ట్ తీసుకెళ్ళి అందులో పెట్టి రీఫ్రేజ్ చేసుకోండి, ఇట్ విల్ రీఫ్రేజ్. సో దట్ విల్ బికమ్ యూనిక్ టు యూ అగైన్. సో దెర్ ఆర్ వేస్ టు డీల్ విత్ దట్. సో బట్ ఒకసారి మీరు చేసిన తర్వాత ఇట్ కెన్ గివ్ ద కంటెంట్ టు సంబడి ఎల్స్, బట్ విత్ మినిమం చేంజెస్. అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే దిస్ ద సోర్స్ ఇస్ ఆల్ ఇంటర్నెట్ కదండి. సో ChatGPT ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్, ఇట్ ఈస్ పుల్లింగ్ data from the relevant sites, right? So but if your prompt is generic, it will pull the generic content. If your prompt is more detailed, it will get the more unique content. So దాని ద్వారా ప్లస్ రీఫ్రేజింగ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు మనం. సో once you rephrase it, it will be more unique to you. So that way you can avoid all those challenges. I would suggest to rephrase when you especially summarize చేసినప్పుడు కూడా సమ్మరైజ్ చేసిన దాన్ని కూడా మళ్ళీ మీరు రీఫ్రేజ్ చేసుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, ఇట్ విల్ బి కంప్లీట్లీ యూనిక్ టు యూ.
ఓకేనండి. సో ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఒక వీడియో అవుట్పుట్ ఇచ్చింది. సో మనం ఆ వీడియోని మాడిఫై చేసి ఆర్ అలాంటి వీడియోనే మన వీడియోలో ఇంక్లూడ్ చేసుకుంటే, అని ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఏదైనా యూట్యూబర్గా వేరే వీడియోస్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఈ ChatGPT ఇచ్చిన వీడియోని మనం తీసుకొని మన వీడియోలో పెట్టుకుంటే అది కాపీరైట్ ఇష్యూస్ ఏమి అంటే
దట్స్ వాట్. సో మీరు ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్ట్ తీసుకుంటారు, ఇందాక నా వీడియో చూపించాను, ఆ వీడియో ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్ట్ మీరు తెచ్చుకోవచ్చు. దర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ సైట్స్ యూ కెన్ గెట్ ఎ ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్ట్, రైట్? సో ఆ ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్ట్ తీసుకొని మీరు రీఫ్రేజ్ చేయండి దాన్ని. యూజ్ ఎనీ టూల్ టు రీఫ్రేజ్ ఇట్, దెన్ ద కంటెంట్ ఈజ్ యూనిక్. వన్స్ యూ రీఫ్రేజ్ ఇట్, ఇట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఓన్ కంటెంట్. దాన్ని మళ్ళీ ChatGPTకి ఇచ్చి యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ యూ టు క్రియేట్ అ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ ఆర్ ఎ వీడియో స్ట్రక్చర్ వాట్ ఎవర్. సో దట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఓన్ కంటెంట్. సో అక్కడ మీకు ఆ ప్రాబ్లమే రాదు. రీఫ్రేజ్ చేశాక ఇట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఓన్ కంటెంట్.
ఓకేనండి. యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి.
షూర్. Yeah, picture-based prompt. I mean, Midjourney is the best, Andy, and of course, it's not free, but there are many other. Now, Bing has come up with that tool, but DALL-E, Midjourney are one of the top image generation tools. Hope that answers Shailaja garu.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah. Any other questions? I know it's a huge topic. It takes a lot of time to get into all these details. But it's more of a glimpse of what we can do. And మన presentation context లో I try to cover the basics. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I think everybody is clear, Andy. Thank you very much, Andy. Sridhar Vimala garu. And also,
Thank
like, I would like to thank NATS and Impact Foundation for the wonderful opportunity like this. And also Nalini Madam, back end lo anni చూసుకుంటున్నారు. And Kavita garu, Bapu garu, Prashant Pinnamneni garu, and Sudhir garu, because they're all working in the back end. And Abhijit garu for making all the posters. Thank you very much. And Gampa garu, thank you for all the support. Thank you, Andy. Sridhar garu.
Thank you again, once and all. Thank you all. I'll send the presentation to you, and Venkat sir. You can share
Sudhakar
it.
garu ఏదో అడుగుతున్నారు, like, yeah,
Okay.
share, like, last question. Sudhakar garu, like, what is that one?
I think I just asking that the tools you mentioned, we were unable to capture everything. So if you can
Okay.
share like a cheat sheet or anything, if you have a text to image, these are the best one. Means a lot of tools are available. But
Yes.
based on your experience, you may have, oh, these are the best tools are available. So if you have any cheat sheet or anything, we can advise.
I will share. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank
Have a
you.
nice evening. Yeah.
Thank you.